It's time to rise, yeah, lift your eyes. Don't let nobody play with your soul, cause you the prize. Had to change my vision, change my tongue, and change my mind. I even changed my circle, now everything aligned. I'm talking square roots, I'm in the sun, eating bird fruit. Fought through the lions and the tigers just to bear fruit. Head full of locks, tattoos on my bird arms. It's melanin all on my bird skin. They don't want us to win. See, he a blood, he a crip, they don't want us to blend. If we made in God's image, I'm calling them twin. Yeah, they thought that was the end. Yeah, they tried to break you, but forgot that you could bend. Now we don't talk about what it's been, cause now it's getting better. Used to get cheese from the government, but now we getting fatter. Now it flew together, now it's better weather. Blue skies, rise.
Son of mine, don't let them tell you we're trash. Just lie, hold on to hope and don't close your eyes. Just keep on looking up towards the light. The sun gon' shine, we gon' rise.
It's time to rise, yeah, lift your eyes. Peace to the goddesses and peace to the gods. I picked up the pieces and said peace to the odds. I ain't who I used to be, I know they all surprised. It's shocking, ain't it? Ain't no blocking, ain't no stopping greatness. Thought it was meant to fall apart, but nah, I did the maintenance. I even cut off some dead weight, and though it wasn't painless, when you start applying gyms, your body go through changes. Yeah, I used to throw signs, nine-line chakras. I evolved from that thug life, they still wanna pockets. Meditation over medication, do you proper. I started eating plants and let the earth be my doctor. Now they can't stop you, with y'all on your side. And don't forget your ancestors, the angels down the ride, I've been mastering demons and now I feel divine. It's perfect time. If you can hear my voice right now, look down at your feet. See, you right where you supposed to be. But see, some of y'all be posting online and you ain't who you supposed to be. Write this on a post-it note. Post this quote. It's time to
Son of
ride.
mine, don't let them tell you we're trash. Just lie, hold on to hope and don't close your eyes. Just keep on looking up towards the light. The sun gon' shine, we gon' rise.
The next stop is On the Radar Radio.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
Yes, sir, baby. On the Radar Radio freestyles. Aniko in the building. I'm going to step out. They going to step in. All right, let's go.
Saying a prayer. I want you speaking in tongues, that's why they call me the Slayer. I want you singing like hymns, had you laid out like a cross. I need to flex for a minute, I need to know what it costs. Yeah, I'm on a wave, yeah, I don't behave. Always do what I say, these niggas is fool. These bitches is gravy, now your bitch going crazy. These bitches tryna sex me, these bitches tryna hex me. I'm finna shake it up, bitch, I'ma break it up. Watch your mouth when you talk to me, yeah. God body, God body, I got a God body. I'm above all the shit you see. God body, yeah, God body, yeah, no. I got a God body. Call me leash, call me deity. God body, yeah, God body. No, I got a God body. Tell these bitches don't play with me. No, no, God body, no, God body, yeah, no. I got a God body. Everybody wanna be me. Every time somebody see me, now they seeing angel numbers. I don't gotta check the numbers. No, I do not need to come up. I'm in a chair getting done up. I'm Brooklyn born with Jamaican blood. You do not want my demons to run up. I don't talk about action. I needed info, no fraction. She do it at me, no asking. Had to tell you, bitch, beat it like Jackson. Now I'm in a cherry and laughing. Now she in my DMs laughing. You fucking with a god, goddammit. I'm in it to win a no raffle. I got a God body. I'm above all that shit you see. I know God body, that God body, no war. I got a God body. Call me leash, call me deity. God body, no God body, no. I got a God body. Tell these bitches don't play with me. No, God body, no God body. Yeah, I got a God body. I got a God body. I got a God body.
Surf while never leaving Earth. 10 toes firmly planted in the dirt for what it's worth. See my life flash before my eyes a couple times, so I'd be lying if I said I don't believe in the divine. For reasons we can't find, the truth will probably blow our minds. This energy in the universe send chills down your spine. Had a talk with a goddess about human design. Pull my coat to how I need to get my chakras aligned. Gotta break some bad habits, it's addition by subtraction. Move away from bad actors, trying to leech off your action. It's the laws of attraction, gotta see it before it happens. Gotta believe it with a passion, then receive this beautiful madness. Find a pattern in the chaos, their assessment was way off. You build it from the ground up, you own it, so ain't no layoffs. Your energy is equity, cashing on your day off. Hope to reach a couple souls, it's all a part of the payoff.
Hey, 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 hey. Hey. Oh, hey. Hey, star seeds. I'm coming. Woo. Peace and blessings. Hello. Peace and blessings, everybody. I'm a little close. A little close. Hello, peace and blessings. It is the Goddess Rael, and welcome to Pranoia Star Seed Podcast. Yes, hello, everybody in the building. I see your beautiful faces. Say hello. Don't be weird. I love you. Thank you for tapping in. It is another Pranoia night. Okay, yes, the universe is always working in our favor. I'm good. Am I good? Am I cutting out? I'm great. You hear me good, y'all? All right. Well, tonight is another beautiful night. Tonight is a human design night. Hola, hola, hola. Yes, peace, Kazo. Welcome, welcome. Again, I hope you guys have your charts. I've been saying it. I didn't came live today. I didn't post it today. I didn't told y'all about getting your charts out today. So I hope you got your, hey, sound is on. Good, good. I'm loud and clear. Thank you. Peace, King Adonis. Thank you for being in the building tonight. Star Seeds, I love you. Thank you for being here. It is Human Design Night. Thank you. Thank you. I have to, let me highlight that. Hold on. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. So back to business. Tonight is Human Design. So you know what that means. That means the goddess, the beautiful, the love doctor. That's what we're going to call her from now on. I promise y'all. Oh my goodness. Amora personified, the beautiful human design expert. Claudia is in the building tonight. You know, once I promise y'all I'm going to get my roadcaster so we can go yeah, you know, because we got to get I know that's what y'all doing at home, so I need that, you know, that reaction here. So I'll make sure I get that back. But Claudia is in the building tonight. Hey, Manisha. Hello, peace and blessings. Thank you all again for being here. Yes, Claudia is in the building. We're going to be talking human design. And if you did not see, let me share a little bit with you on what we have to come, because I've been advertising on Instagram. Peace and blessings. Welcome, welcome. All those who are entering, you are welcome here. As long as your vibration is high, you are welcome here. So I was, you know, talking to Divine, and I love human design. Everywhere I go, I'm not lying. Everywhere I go, I tell people about human design. I'm annoying with that shit. I am, because I'll be like, you know human design? They'd be like, what are you talking about? Oh, you do not know. Well, let me pull up my phone. I believe you maybe. And I start getting into it. But guess what? I have not yet once met a person who did not have a very positive reaction. And the last person I talked to actually cried, which made me feel good and bad at the same time, because it was like I read their incarnation cross to them, and when it hit hard, you know, but it made sense to them, and it made them feel seen. And that's the thing about human design. It allows you to feel seen in your personal design. You don't feel like you have to fit into somebody else's little box. You can actually say, oh my God, that's why I do this, or that's why I do that, or, you know, this is why I feel like this. So everywhere I go, people want to know what I like. So I tell them human design. And it's true. I'm not lying, y'all. I am in love with human design. You know, I learn every time Claudia comes here, I learn something new. You know, I'm doing my research on my own, but she always just enlightens me to something new, a new path. And every time I see her, it's just a joy. So I'm not going to hold back. You know, I am selfish. I do like to keep her to myself because she's such a beautiful spirit, but I will be bringing her on. One more thing. Energy. I just want to talk to y'all real quick about energy. I hope that you're feeling good tonight. You know, it's always my hope that when you come here, you know you are in a safe space. If you need to cleanse your energy, take that time to do that right now. Always take time for yourself and make sure that you are okay. So I'm going to do a you check-in real quick. Are you good? If you good, say I'm good in the comments, okay? Just let me know you good. Because I want to make sure y'all good out there tonight. It's a lot of energy. There's a lot of shifting going on. We got a lot of internal battles we be fighting and we don't tell nobody about. So I just want to check on you here in this space. Make sure you're good, okay? Because I'm good. Y'all, I I'm good. Now, is everything going on in my life great? It's life, but I am good. So make sure you're good and cleanse your space if you need to. Grab you something to drink, be it water, be it wine, be it whatever's in your cup. We're going to talk human design tonight. Without further ado, I would like to add the most beautiful woman besides myself, Claudia, to the stage. Boo-doo-doo. Oh, let me unmute your mic. There we go. Peace and blessings.
Ooh, hi, peace,
Hi.
everyone. Goddess, thank you for this space. Thank you for that centering moment. That's so real. Like that energy check is needed. There's so much happening in our world right now. There's so much happening. So even if like in your personal life you feel good, know that this is still a turbulent time. And when you're a sentient being, it's impacting this whole collective, right? And we have a
Absolutely.
full moon tonight. So shout out to our emotional energy and our centers. Everything is lit up. I mean, we all saw Sinners, right? All of that was on a full moon. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like we we all know
Yes.
what happens. So
Yes.
I'm so happy to be here. Thank you, Goddess. I
Yes.
feel like really feeling into this powerful energy that we're in.
Mhm.
And I, of course, want to always start with gratitude. And hello, welcome to everyone that's here. I'm so excited to talk about human design. And like you described it, and I just to add on, it's a tool. It's a tool to have that for me came at a time when I was feeling really lost and understanding that this is a matrix that we are plugged into. This is a program that we're plugged
Mhm.
into. And there's so many messages that we get and so many ways of being that are put upon us. So at some point, we all reach a
Yeah.
moment where we want to be the deciding factor and we want to be the ones to choose, right? We want to switch
Yes.
it up. We want to discover ourselves. And I feel very strongly about human design being a tool that
Mhm.
helps push you on the path, because even if things come up that you're like, nah, that's not me, if you allow yourself to just hear it, it still will awaken something within you, right? Because you can always choose. This is free will, right? We are
Absolutely.
creating within this web that we are in, within this web that we weave, we are creating the beautiful life that we want to have. So you got to say, okay, I get it that that's what the design says. I'm going to listen. Allow yourselves to just listen, take it in. If it applies, it applies. If it doesn't, just, you know what I'm saying? We're all here
Yeah.
to learn. We're all here to learn. And I feel like there's always a natural resistance that comes at the beginning of the learning process. So I see we have people, I saw that we have some people here that are already versed. And I welcome you all to jump in the chat, welcome your energy into the space. Tell
Yes.
us who you are, if you know your design, how much you're aware of what the human design body graph says. If you need to pull your body graph, I can get the link real quick and Goddess will put I
Yes.
think
I
last time
will.
I managed to copy, I should do that beforehand. But um, the information is out there. You need your birth chart information, pretty much what you pull your astrology chart with in order to pull your body graph for human design. And you'll get this graph with a lot of information, which we're gonna dive into some of it. Um, we're gonna dive into some of it today. I wanted to talk a lot about centers today to kind of go through what the centers mean. So I
Okay.
invite you to take a moment to pull your body graph, to go to the archive. Yes, look at that. We got a projector in the building, 2-4. That's what I'm talking
Yeah.
about.
Yes, make sure I'm gonna give y'all a little time. Go ahead and pull up those body graphs. Very, very important to have and on hand as she goes through these so you can see what centers she's talking about and how they relate to you. So go ahead and I put up there just the name of the website. If you just type that in there, you'll see a free chart. And then I mean you could just really put in human design free chart and boom, you'll get one. So take that time to do that. Again, you guys, I'm telling you, it's very important to have your own personal chart so you can follow along.
So
So
once
I'll
y'all
give you a
have your
few
graph,
seconds.
tell us that you have it in the chat. And feel free to share your design type and the profile number. Feel free to share your authority as well. There's some of us that are emotional authority, sacral authority, and we're gonna get into authorities as we go through the centers.
Mhm. And so while they're doing that, I want to take like, I know it's gonna take more than, but I just say 2 minutes. Let's give me yours because you guys, I did a recoded with Knowledge Born Allah over there on Do the Knowledge Radio about sinners. I talked about it a little bit, and I want to talk about it with my sister here. So while you're pulling up your body graphs, I would love to hear your feedback. If you can give me your little summary of what you got from the movie Sinners. I know you've seen it more than once. Yeah.
Listen, and I know we still have to do our talk about it. Ow. So
Yes, we do.
I've seen it twice in the theaters, and I want to see it again. I almost feel like I can't talk about it until I see it a third time. Like I'm
Damn.
like, first of all, that movie has so much depth to it.
Hmm.
It is a masterpiece in communicating so much visually, audio wise, right? It's an experience. And I feel like the first time I saw it, I was just touched. Like I was just like, wow. And mind you, that was the last time I was here. Literally that day I saw it. And I was just like, that the messages were just so many. And then I dove in because I had been avoiding all the talk online about sinners, but then like I dove in
Right.
and I saw a lot of the perspectives around spirituality and the things that were shown and how beautiful it was that there wasn't any actual explanations. There were just you got to see it, you got to
It was like art.
experience,
Hmm.
but you still don't know, right? You
It
still
was
don't know unless you know.
exactly.
If
It
you
was like it
know,
was like
you
watching
know.
art, like abstract art, like seeing it and being able to pull from it what you got from it. I love that. Like I love a movie. It's almost like a book, like when you want to reread a book over and over because it was just that good. That movie, and it wasn't even just the fact that it was that good. It was that much many messages within it that you could just keep pulling little gems out of there left and right. So yes, we have to do our sinners recap. So once you see it again for the third time, once you give them your $700, we will recap on IG.
Something that I do want to mention is it's funny because as I was watching like the intro video to the podcast, which has your beautiful self in this vortex, in this portal, right? And that movie gave us a visualization of portal opening, right? That has never been seen before in that way. And I just feel like on days like today, when we have a full moon where the veil is kind of thin, we
Mm-hmm.
have a lot of shifts that happen this week in terms of the planets, Mercury, Jupiter, and then now this full moon. And we're about to go into, sorry, I have something in my eye. So if you see me like twitching, um, we're about to have summer solstice in a few days, right? We're about to switch into Cancer.
Uh-oh. She be back. Remix. Okay. So we're gonna wait for Claudia to come back because I'm sure she'll be back. Okay, Starseeds. So we do have a couple of projector. Nope. Yeah, we have projectors in the building. Is that is that all this here? Are we only projectors in the building? Are we running things? I'm gonna run this town tonight. Hey, hey. Emotional authority. Ooh, me too. I have emotional authority too. That is a wild roller coaster, isn't it? Hmm? Hmm? Splenic projector. I would love to hear about that. That's a little different. So, you guys, I hope you had time to go get your charts. Yes, yes. I know Claudia will be back with us in a few as soon as people stop trying to send the juju our way to stop us giving out good information over here. Okay. So in the meantime, make sure you pull your charts on human design. And as I said before, we will be dating by design. So here's the concept of dating by design. For one, we're going to be talking to singles. For two, we'll also be talking to people who are dating. So if you're currently dating and you have you and your partner's chart and you have your partner's permission to share their chart, you can go ahead and send those over to me on IG, for Noise Starseed Podcast. And then if you are interested in dating by design, there is an application. And we'll get more into it once Claudia is back on, but there will be an application. Because you know we don't want crazies up here, and then they be trying to blame us like, why you hook me up with that crazy? Listen, okay, but I thought we're coming back to love. We're trying to return to love. It's all about the divine masculine and feminine and all the love that we can get together. There's so much divisive information out there with men and women and women and women and women and men and men and all of that. I'm tired of it. So, in order for me to do what I was brought here to do, which is bring love back to this frequency, I thought it'd be great to have a little dating show here. So, we'll see how that goes. I'll give you a little bit more again when Claudia is back. But in the meantime, why don't I give you guys? Okay, all right. See, right on time. She's back, y'all. Hold on. Let me bring my sister back.
Hey, so funny how I don't even know what the last thing I was saying, but I just got a phone call and then it kicked me off. And I was
Oh
like,
wow.
oh, okay. Um, so where are we? Where are we? Where are we talking about?
Well, we have projectors. We running shit tonight. I'm sorry, but so far the only I'm a projector, only greatness media, which is a smart. I think that's smart video girl. Yeah, that is a projector. We got King Adonis is a projector. What's a splenic projector?
Oh,
What is that?
yeah, let's talk about it. So,
Mhm.
projectors are in the building, repping hard. I love it. I love to see it. I love to see it. They say that projectors are the ones that benefit the most from the information of human design because projectors are
Hey.
so unique and projectors learn the most through their observation of others. It's like you learn about yourself through the observation of others, and a way to understand others is in systems. Systems like human design, systems like astrology, like personality, things like that help you categorize other people and then give you a window of understanding deeper into yourself and how you feel and see things. So I'm happy that projectors receive the call and pick up the phone and they're like, all right, I'm gonna see what this talking about, even though I don't want to wait for the invitation.
Right.
Even though I don't want to wait for the invitation. But projectors, I want to say I love projectors. I think projectors are all geniuses. Like you all have this unique way of learning and mastering information that is it's almost like also it's pertaining to you. It's what is pertaining to you you soak it in ways that need to be studied. And realistically, it's like projectors, some projectors, and depending, because there's a lot of different details and nuances to everybody's body graph. But I find that a lot of projectors ultimately struggle a bit with the school systems as are, because the school systems as are mostly designed for generators, realistically. And the way that projectors will get bored in school and not, and like sometimes won't have great grades because of boredom, because it's like this is too easy. Like I feel like that it's inspiring. It's inspiring. So projectors, y'all are here to lead. Y'all are here to learn this and be able to
Yes.
lead, like exactly like Goddess is doing over here. So,
Oh,
also, since we're talking a little bit about dating by design, know if you are single definition, if you are split definition, or if you have a triple or quad split definition in your body graph. So in the top of your body graph, it'll tell you your type, your profile number, your incarnation cross, your authority, your strategy, your not self, and it will also tell you your definition. So some of us are single, some of us are split, and we'll get into that and how that impacts you when we're talking about dating. So let's if y'all ready, are y'all ready? Look at
yeah.
your
I'm
body
gonna move
graphs.
over and I'm gonna remove myself. Okay, I'm gonna let
Oh,
you get into the
okay.
human design, y'all. Yeah, and then if you want to cue me, I'm gonna cue up some graphs on the side so that they can follow along. So I'll be in the background. Love y'all.
Oh,
Peace.
also be mindful that I don't see the comments because I'm on my phone, y'all.
Oh yeah, I'll make sure I put them up on the. Can you see them when I put them up on the screen? Like, let's
Yes,
see.
on
Hold
this
on.
when you put them up
Oh,
on
you
the
see
screen,
them?
I can see it. Peace and love.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Perfect.
So in the chat, oh,
Mm-mm. Wrong way.
it's okay.
Hold on.
We're doing a shuffle. Okay. So in the chat, just know what um look at your body graphs. Everybody that has their body graph up, and note that there are triangles and squares, and some are colored in and some are white. And so note the ones that are colored in. All of those are your centers. So they're pictured here, squares and triangles, depending on where you pull your graph from, but this is kind of the overview. And then there's lines going from one to the other. Notice how many of those are filled in for you and put it in the chat. So if count how many are colored in and write it in the chat, whether you have one, two, three, none, just note it in the chat. The centers in your body graph pretty much tell the story that is on the very top, depending on where you pulled your graph, where it has the information and it tells you your type, your profile, all of that is pulled from your body graph. And so, all of these centers, there are 9 centers in human design. And the 9 centers are, it's kind of like the chakra system. There are 7 traditional chakras, and we know that there's a lot more than that. And the human design system is introducing 2 more centers, like added on to the chakras. So it's like dividing up. So some of them have the same name, and then, but kind of different functions than the traditional 7 chakras. So I saw that somebody has 5 and somebody has 2. So you see, it can all range. If you have none of these centers filled in, then you are a reflector. So reflectors are the only type, they're the rarest type in the human design, and they do not have definition. So where I asked, like, if you're, I guess I didn't say that one. Single definition, split definition, reflectors are no definition. No definition. Reflectors are no definition. Reflectors are the rarest of the human design types. So, reflectors, if you're in the building, know that it's good information to have in regards to the centers anyway, because you are picking up this energy from the environment that you're in. Human design is based off of energy, it's your aura. So this picture that's on the screen now is just showing the different types, the four main types of human design and the aura outside. So the way that the aura functions is your energy type. So it's essentially we're always picking up in energy from the external environment. And typically, the energy that we're picking up from the external environment is the ones that we have blank in our design. So, back to the centers, the ones that are blank, we say are undefined, and the ones that are colored in are your defined. So, starting off with the very first center is the red box all the way in the bottom, and that is our root center. So the root center is the center of timing and connection. So some of us have that open and some of us have that defined. If you have it defined, then it means that you have a pretty good sense of timing. The root center is a pressure center. So some of the ones of us that have it undefined, if you have it open, it means that you may struggle with timing. You may struggle with timing. It might bring anxiety, and it's a center where you might feel pressure at times when there isn't pressure. It's almost like anxiety inducing. So if you have that center open, you oftentimes might run either 15 minutes early or 15 minutes late. It's almost like finding the right balance of being on time can be challenging. And it's an oncurring thought that you might carry with you. For people that have it defined, have a pretty good sense of timing, are pretty much good to be punctual, or just have their own inner time that works. Just kind of have their own pacing that works for them. And when you have a person that has it defined and a person that has it undefined, when you have it together, you're synced up. Essentially, what you don't have, if somebody else has it and is in your presence, then you both are sharing in that. The person that has is always sharing, and this is unconscious. So it's not like we can go around turning it off. You imagine, you're like, I don't want to give this energy to anybody. It doesn't, you don't really have a say, except if you completely remove yourself from the environment, right? Wherever you are, your energy, you're giving and you're receiving. So that's something that we have to understand in terms of how energy works. You're being present in a space, you are receiving and you are giving. So that's your root center. And then moving up, we have the sacral. So if you have the sacral, and that's the one, it's a square right above the square that is the root. If you have that shaded in, if you have that defined, then you are a generator. So generators all have their sacral defined. There are And we'll get into like the differences as we go up in the centers. But if you have your sacral defined, you're a generator. What a generator means is you are here to respond. You're here to respond what your natural inkling and your natural way of responding is yes or no. When your sacral is your gut response is what you are meant to listen to. So, all generators have as their strategy is to respond. You're here to say yes or no. And it's an actual visceral response in your body that says yes or no. So here's the secret, because I know that when you learn about human design and you look up the things and you see and you read all these things that say your gut says uh-huh and your gut says uh-uh. I'm gonna give it to y'all. Your gut feels like it's expanding when it's a yes response. It just feels like an open. When it contracts, when it feels like a tighten, it is a no. When you are asked a question, generators respond best to yes or no questions. And when you're asked a question and it's not quite a yes or no, the best thing to do is kind of reframe it as a yes or no and then check in with your gut. Your gut is always responding in the moment, and it is always in your best interest. Generators have a certain amount of energy. Generators, essentially, the majority of the world is generators, if I didn't mention that. 70% of the world are generators. And you are meant to sleep a full night's of rest, get a full night of rest, and that charges your battery. And then when you get up, you have this full battery. So you have a replenishing battery. And your replenishing battery has a specific thing that it is here that that energy is for. So generators, the responses that are yes is what that energy is for. Your gut will tell you no to everything that is a no. Generators tend to be programmed in such a way that because they have energy, they tend to say yes when it's a no. They tend to say yes to things that are actually a no. Generator, we struggle with people pleasing because we think, oh, there is energy here. I can do that. Oh, you need that done? Yes, I'm going to do that. But your gut all the while was like, no. Like, yeah, there's energy, but not for that. So what ends up happening is that generators will reach burnout and will deplete their energy in saying yes to things that are actually no. The biggest lesson for generators to learn is to stand by their yeses and be able to say no to somebody or the invitation that is not for them. Generators work, the sacral is in tune with your current energetic level at, at the frequency in which you currently are in. And a no can turn into a yes with time, and a yes can turn into a no with time. So you can always recheck later on to see if the response has changed within you. It is possible that it might have, it's possible that it doesn't. The way that generators are meant to interact with human design is literally following gut responses and stop trying to make things happen and allow yourself to respond to life, to respond. The easiest, the easiest type to kind of just start putting it into action is generators if you allow yourself to do so. Now, when it comes to, like I said, all all generators have their sacral defined. and are energy beings because you have that sacral defined. And some generators are sacral authority generators, and then we have emotional authority generators. So we'll move to our next center, which is the solar plexus, in a minute. If you have your solar plexus defined, you are an emotional authority. So be it if you're any type, if you're a manifestor, if you're a projector, if you're a generator, if you have your solar plexus defined, and in this body graph, it's the yellow triangle to the right of the sacral. If you have that box, the solar plexus defined, you're an emotional authority. Now, if you are a sacral authority, it means your gut response says yes or no. That's it. If it is not a yes, it is a no. If you don't feel like, and I like to say sometimes turned on, like if it turns you on, it's probably a yes. If it's if it doesn't, it's a no. If you don't feel anything, it's a no. You can check again. Sometimes like your brain wants you to do something so badly, but your gut is saying nothing. It's a no. It's a no. But you can ask again. Ask again and give it a week, give it a few days, ask again and see if you're ready for that to be a yes. Your gut is king and queen. Okay? Trust it. It's gonna lead you to what you are meant to do, what you are meant to be, if you allow yourself. And there's a lot that goes on and happens in the world of aligning to your highest timeline and aligning to yourself and the lessons that you need to learn to get to the next trajectory and get to the next frequency that you want to be in, that you want to be at so that you can attract the life that you want. There are experiences that you're going to go through that you're not going to understand why it was a yes. You might not understand why it is a no until you get to a certain place. Then you can kind of reflect, right? Hindsight is 2020. After the decision is made, you can tell why it was the decision that it was. And the last thing I'll say for my sacral beings is pretty much trust your gut, and it is gonna lead you where you need to be and take you where you need to go. Now, if you have the solar plexus defined, the solar plexus in human design is the center for emotions. It's your emotional center. So, since I was already talking about generators, we're just going to continue. So, if you're a generator, generators generators are either sacral defined or emotional. I mean, authority. Sacral authority or emotional authority. So, if you have your solar plexus defined, it means that for all emotional authority beings, it means that once you have an invitation, you're offered, you're extended an offer, an invitation, be that an actual like event or a job, an opportunity. Something comes up and you're presented with a decision to make. When you are an emotional authority, it means that you will have a lot of opposite feelings around this opportunity. When you are a generator, your sacral is going to say yes. For example, we're going to talk about generators for a second. Your sacral will say yes to this opportunity. And the moment that you feel, okay, that's a yes, it might instantly change to regret, no, what if this goes wrong? And it's called, in human design, it's referred to as an emotional roller coaster. So you'll cycle through all of the possible reasons as to why this is an awful idea. And then you'll go through all the possible reasons why it's a good idea. So you'll like emotionally go through the lows and emotionally go through the highs. When you are an emotional authority, the goal for you is to take your time before you commit to any response. So be you a generator, projector, manifester, emotional authority means take your time to make a decision. Allow yourself at minimum 2 days before you commit to something that is life changing for you. So allow yourself to feel into the yes and feel into the no. Give yourself as much time as possible and then re-ask the question and then revisit the opportunity when you are in a calmer, neutral space about it. And if it's a yes, then it's a yes. Emotional authority humans will not feel like 100% about any decision on the initial deciding point. So you'll say yes and you'll feel a little unsure about it. You'll feel like, oh, hmm, what if? The what if is always, it's going to be there. It's going to be present there. So it takes time. It might take weeks or months before you're like, okay, yes, I made the right decision. So sacral authority beings, yes or no, it's 100% go. Emotional authority, you're going to feel like it's 75% yes, 25% no, or it's 65% yes. You know what I'm saying? There's going to be like a ratio for you. It's not going to feel like, oh, this is it. And that's because you're so introspective naturally. You have the roller coaster that you go on. You know that I feel like the beautiful thing about understanding yourself is that the power is that you know every decision, any decision that you make carries both negative and positive energy. Everything is made up of negative and positive energy, right? So it's what you choose to focus on that you're going to create. So, emotional authority, if you allow your emotions to run, you're aware of all of the negative pieces of the decision that has to be made. So because of that, it's not going to feel super certain. And that is by design. That's your design. That's your power, is understanding all the emotional pieces, not filled in solar plexus. Yeah. So here's the thing. If you don't have, and I guess I didn't talk about this with the state goal now, I'm reminding. If you don't have a center defined, so if you don't have your solar plexus defined, then you are an emotional empath. And here's what happens. In this world, about half of the people on the planet are emotional authority. So it's literally like 50-50. There are 50% of humans are emotional authority. So oftentimes, the system that we live in does not value or does not place a lot of importance on emotional well-being and stability. It's a newer thing for humanity now to focus on emotional intelligence, and it's still underdeveloped. But there's a push, which is good. So in understanding, in in developing our emotional intelligence and understanding emotional authority, we now understand, right, that there are some humans that need time, that need more time to make decisions, that actually need and benefit, and it's for their best self, they will have to give themselves time. You, as being here, being present here, whoever is an emotional authority here, if this resonates, know that it is always in your best interest to take time before you make a strong decision. It's always in your best interest to take time. Do with that what you want, because this is your life. it will be to your best benefit to give yourself time and know that the the opportunities that arise that do not give you that time are already showing that it's probably not to your best interest. Okay? So if you're feeling rushed about a decision, that already is an indication that that might not be your opportunity. So, last minute is not really the vibe for emotional authorities. It really isn't. Sacral authorities, yes or no, you are on the spot. You're on the spot can make a decision. If it's not a yes, it's a no. Yeses are very, very clear. It's like, there's like different things that say like if it's a fuck yes, like it feels like a yes everywhere. You know what a yes feels like. That's a yes. If it's not yes, then it's no. It's okay. Just proceed. Emotional authority, give yourself time. As much time as possible. They say when you're starting off, give yourself 3 days. As you get more in alignment with yourself, as you allow your emotional self to run more, 2 days, 48 hours. Somebody proposes to you, let them know, hey, I need 48 hours. I'll get back to you. And then do your thing. Come back to it and give your response from a clear perspective. Your person, your partner will understand. We're on this journey together, right? You let them know, hey, this is just a need of mine. So when you have that space blank, the emotional centered blank, it makes you an emotional empath. And why I mentioned the whole thing about emotions is because when you have that space blank and people around you have it filled in, oftentimes when you are in environments with emotional authority people, you are feeling their feelings. You're oftentimes can get caught into somebody's emotional roller coaster. And why emotional intelligence is so important is because a lot of human beings are not aware of their emotions or their feelings and might just be repressing that. Might A lot of emotional authority humans might be repressing that. They might not present as emotional. And a lot of undefined solar plexus humans present as very emotional because they're constantly feeling the emotions that other people aren't feeling for themselves. It's very important in work of self development. It's very important to start paying attention to your own emotional states. For people that have their solar plexus undefined, it's very important for you to establish your own sense of well being emotionally. So that I say before you leave the house, just check in with yourself. How do you feel? Because if you feel calm, cool, collected, and then you leave and you're in a room and you start feeling anger or sadness and you start feeling a roller coaster, you're aware that when you left, you were okay, right? Yes. Feeling it. You are aware. Start off your day by understanding where you are. So, like you can wake up and feel sad, right? And know, okay, this is my sad. I'm feeling sad right now. And then leave and be in different space and then feel rage or feel like intense things and know that what you're feeling, what is yours, is the sadness, and you might be able to understand where the sadness is coming from. Emotional empaths, and also any space, any center that you have blank on your body graph, you tend to take in that energy from the outside in and expand it. That's also something very important to know for my undefined solar plexus humans. So, when you say you're an empath and you're feeling people's feelings, you're not only feeling people's feelings, you are expanding people's feelings. Same thing for the sacral. This is also, if you have your sacral undefined, so my non-energy beings, projectors, reflectors, and manifestors, if you have that space blank, the energy is not a constant, it's not consistent for you. You probably will pick up energy when you're around generators. You will pick up generator energy and expand it. I often like to say that projectors in a party tend to be sometimes some of the liveliest, most energized humans. And that's because they're picking up that sacral energy and expanding it. It's even bigger. And so it's hype mode. It's super hype. So all of the sensors that you have blank, you you tend to borrow energy from the outside in. So where your solar plexus, same thing. If you have it blank, you're picking that energy up from the outside in. So we're still here. We're understanding emotional authority, humans, whether you're a projector, a manifester, a generator, you need to give yourself time before making life altering decisions. And if you have that space undefined, you need to understand your feelings, understand what's yours and what's coming from the outside in, because it'll have you in a chaos. It'll have you in a chaos. Emotions will have you in a chaos. So I've got three on the phone. Yes, parties are overstimulating. Parties can be a lot. It's a lot of energy all at once. Any space where there's a lot of humans, there is a lot of energy. I mean, we could talk about energy harvesting at some other point. And here's another, there was a, there was something that was coming to me. The centers that you have that are undefined are known as the centers that will bring you the highest highs and the lowest lows in your life. The centers that you have that are shaded in are centers in which your energy is going to be pretty stable and consistent. It's where it's your design, meaning it's what you came here with. It is what is you. It is what is most true to you. The centers where you're undefined is where you get conditioned, is where your not self comes out, is your programming. It's where you learn your biggest lessons. So you can become an expert in things such as emotions, like for my undefined emotional centers, because you will learn the highest of the high and the lowest of the low and how to navigate emotions because you have to, because you're constantly being confounded by other people's stuff. And same thing for sacral, right? So sacral, if you don't have your sacral defined for my projectors that are in the building, it means that when you're around people, the energy that you feel is borrowed, and you have to learn how to prorate your own energy. You have to learn how to withdraw, how to rest. Projectors, you are meant to rest a lot. Manifestors also have borrowed energy, borrow that generator energy. And yet, manifestors are their own energy type and have their own surges of energy. But projectors, you don't. You are not an energetic being on your own. So, oftentimes, not non-energy types might struggle with falling asleep, might struggle with regulating their energy levels, and have to find what works best. Yes, naps. Very important. Very important for projectors to build in that nap schedule. You manifestors too. Build in. I have a friend that's like 3 o'clock is nap time. Like, don't nobody talk to me from 3 to 5. Do what you need to do. Projectors are meant to, they say that in the ideal world, projectors only work 4 hours a week. So Projectors, when you're working 9 to 5s, 9 to 5 is a generator schedule. So you might have to do things to really protect your energy, find a way to find pleasure or to not correlate your work to hard, hard mental and physical labor because you're meant to rest. Again, your energy is borrowed. And trying to keep up with the 9 to 5, the 40-hour work week is exhausting for projectors, and projectors will reach a point of burnout in trying to do that. Manifestors as well. Non-energy being type, if you don't have your sacral defined, you're not meant to work at a 9 to 5. Generators have enough charge when they're working the right jobs for themselves. So generators, my sacral beings, if you are in a role that you are not happy with, that you're not turned on by, then you are depleting your energy faster. You're not doing the work like you could be. You're not doing the work that you need to be doing. If you're not turned on by your job, then you need to find another job. King Adonis said that they're week. A week. 4 hours a week. Okay? Okay, make it work. Make it work. So we're gonna move on to the splenic center. A week. Yes. So the yellow box on the other side of the sacral, we have the spleen. So the spleen center can be blank or it can be colored in. The spleen center is the center of instinct and survival. It's the center of fears. So here's another little addendum. I guess you know the importance of listening and listening well is because things flow in different ways. In your body graphs, you have centers, all the centers that are colored in, all the centers that are blank. And in every center, there are numbers. All of those little numbers correlate to a gate. Yeah, splenic authority. Yes, I'm gonna talk to you. Talk to you in a second. So, splenic, your spleen. Wait, let me not. Oof, I got thrown off a little bit. All the centers have numbers. All the numbers correspond to gates. The gates are 1 through 64. So we have 64 gates. It corresponds to I Ching, the gates of I Ching. So if you're into numbers, all of those numbers have a meaning. In every center, there are numbers. All of those numbers correspond to a gate. All of those gates are expressions of energy. So even if you don't have that center defined, you might have gates in that center that are bubbled in. So if you pulled your chart from Jovian, there are little purple dots. Those little purple dots on those numbers are your unique expression of energy via this center, via those gates. So when it comes to the spleen, all of those gates in the spleen correspond to different fears that have to do with survival, like food insecurity, for example, is one of those gates. Um, if you have your spleen defined, you have very strong instinct and intuition. You have an innate sense of survival. And so you have a very strong intuition. So my splenic authority humans, which could be projectors or manifestors, projectors or manifestors can be splenic authority. If you're a splenic authority human, what it means is you have a strong intuitive sense. So you are asked to listen, understand when your intuition speaks to you. So here is the thing about intuition. Here's the thing about intuition, right? Your intuition speaks very soft. very gently. It's not supposed to necessarily make sense, and typically doesn't. It just says what it says, and it says it one time, and that's it. So you're posed with a an invitation. Hey, would you like to come to this? Your intuition says, don't do it. And then your mind says, oh, but this might be a good idea because this and this and this could happen and blah 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 blah. And like, let's do this. Yes, right? But your intuition said no. And you know you heard it, but your mind went off on a different tangent. This is what happens to us all humans, right? Our intuition speaks and then we don't listen. We don't listen. Our minds speak louder. Our emotions speak louder. Everything else speaks louder. And then we listen to that and not our intuition. Our intuition says it one time and that's it. It says it one time. So, the power of splenic and sacral authority humans is that you can make instant decisions, just kind of different vibe. So, sacral authority humans, you listen to your gut. If your spleen is defined and your sacral is defined, beautiful. You have great intuitive sense. Your sacral still gonna tell you yes or no, and that's what you listen to. That's your authority. If you're splenic defined human, splenic authority human, your intuition is telling you yes, this is a yes, do it. This is for you, go for it. Or it says stop. Or it says stay your ass home. Now, whether you choose to listen or not, those are your lessons to learn and you will learn them. And we all know, we all figure that out. I think at some point we all figure it out. Like we knew we shouldn't have gone there. We knew we shouldn't have answered that phone call. We knew we couldn't trust this person. But because you did not listen, you learned the lesson. When you learn some, those are the hard lessons that you learn when you don't listen to your intuition. Okay, I'm a step on like my what is it that people step on or have my TED talk around it. If you don't listen to your intuition, you're gonna learn the lesson the hard way. Your intuition's always gonna say it one time. One time. So splenic humans learn to trust yourself. Learn to trust yourself in that very first sense. That very first, is it standing on a milk crate? Soapbox. It's a soapbox. Standing on the soapbox. Listen to your intuition. If you have your spleen defined, your intuition is solid. Okay? It's your instinct to survive is solid. If you have your spleen undefined, you are scared. You're scary. You are, if you have your spleen undefined, there tends to be a lot of fear and a lot of rationalizing of the fear because you're picking up on that from the outside in, right? You don't have it for yourself. Like you, you're open to a lot of chaotic energy when you have your spleen undefined. So it's very important that you just pay attention to what you have and what you're supposed to listen to. Um, first and foremost. Like that's the power and the beauty of human design is that these are just ways in which you can start tapping into yourself. So, if you have your spleen open, you pick up a lot of fear and you tend to oftentimes be concerned about, is there enough food? Is there enough this? Is like kind of trying to find consistently a balance to what's needed when you have your spleen open. Whereas like people that have it defined just kind of have a natural sense of, have an intuitive sense of enough food, at the cookout for everyone. And a person with it open might do too much. It's kind of like an overcompensating because not never knowing what is enough, how much is enough, or how much is not enough. So listen to your intuition, splenic authority. It's gonna lead you where you need to be led. And so here I'm gonna insert another tidbit. This is applicable to everyone around the gates. And the gates in every center, you have some that are bubbled in, and then there's a line that projects out of that, and that's the energy. That's the energy from that gate going forward. Sometimes in your body graph, that energy from that gate meets up with the energy from another gate, and that forms a channel. So if you have a lot of definition in your body graph, you have several channels, and that is those channels are also potent energy that you carry, kind of like little missions that you're meant to be on. So like there's like the channel of inspiration, the channel uh of the game player, the channel of struggle. There's like a lot of different channels. You can look all of that up. You can Google it all. You can Google up gates, and you can Google your channels, and you'll know that these are all expressions of yourself. So when you have channels, for example, there are channels that connect the spleen to the sacral. There are channels that connect the sacral to the solar plexus. There are people that have every center is connected to each other by channels. And when every center is connected to each other by channels, then that means you're a single definition human being. So a single definition human being is a self-sufficient person. It's a person that all of your definition is talking to each other at every point in time. All of your definition is talking to you at sorry, I had a little. All of your definition is talking to each other at any given time. So let's say you have a spleen your spleen defined and your sacral defined and your solar plexus defined. Like let's say you have all those three talking to each other. Your solar plexus is the loudest. So your emotional authority. If you have your solar plexus defined, you're immediately an emotional authority. But it means that all of those centers are constantly communicating to each other. And all you need is you to make a decision. All you need is you to say yes. Now, if all of your channels, so yes, good. We're gonna go into that right now. If your channels are not, if all your centers are not connected via channels, then you have what's called a split. And there are people that just have one split. And there are nuances to all of this, okay? I always recommend that you dive deep into your own body graph, get a reading really truly understand if you have like a big split, a small split, the nuances of what's important for you individually. Because there are things that are more important for some of us to focus on than others. Some of us are not here to focus on the individual gates. We have channels that we're here to focus on more and to project out more. There's a lot that we can get into. So if all your centers are not necessarily connected, there's a split. So if you only have one split, meaning there might be three centers that are connected and then two centers that are connected up above, but they are not in communication to each other, that's one split. And when you have one split, your split definition, what this means is that it is best for you to be in connection with somebody who can bridge your split. typically you will find that people around you, the people that are closest around you, they probably, most of them bridge your split. If you're close, if you feel good around them, if they feel like family, like you feel, they probably bridge your split. There are some of us that have a lot of definition and a lot of channels, and we tend to bridge a lot of people's splits. And so we're very liked by a lot of people because people that have split definition feel whole when all of their centers are talking to each other. So when the centers that you have defined are talking to each other is when you are borrowing energy from somebody who has the channels that connect all the centers for you. This is why we're a network, right? Why we are all interconnected, because some of us need others actually like need to be in connection so that they can feel whole, so that all of their centers are talking to them. So for split definition, you are meant to be in connection to others. You are meant to, when you have a decision that you have to make, it is best that you are in connection. And honestly, here's the thing: you don't have to necessarily talk to, although I do know a lot of split definition people that feel good communicating. You might not be a communicator in that way. You don't have to be. You just being in the energy. It's called like even parallel play. Like we talk a lot about parallel play for kids. And also if you're in the neurodivergence field, if you parallel play, split definition, this this is your realm. Split definition often does really well co-working, just being in the same energy as somebody else, just being in the room with somebody. You do your thing, I do my thing. You your centers are communicating when you're in the energy of somebody that bridges your split, whether you're talking to them verbally, whether you're interacting with them. If you're in the energy of somebody that bridges your split, then your centers are communicating and you feel whole, and that is the best place for you to make decisions from. So when you have a hard decision to make, a life-changing decision to make, it is best that you seek connection. And if you're a private person and don't want to tell everybody or don't want to tell people your business, that's fine. You don't have to do that. You can just say, "Hey, can you come over and like just be in the room with me?" You know what I'm saying? You do have to learn how to be in connection somehow. Um, or you can go to, I love to say, like, when you can go borrow energy at a cafe or go to places where there's a lot of people and somebody might bridge your split, but you take a chance. I say it's always best to do it with somebody you're in connection with, because chances are that if you feel really good around this person, that person bridges your split, you feel more whole, you feel more yourself. So you're not meant to do this life alone. Okay, split definition, you're not meant to do this life alone. And you might have hermit energy, so that hermit energy wants you to be alone. And that's cool. You like to be in your own energy. I get it. You still need people. You still need the other. You still will do the best and be on your highest timeline in connection to another. You know what it is to be in connection and relation to another person. Single definition functions fine without being in connection to the other, and struggles a bit in relationship to the other because of that, right? But split definition functions really well in connection. Community is very important. If you are a triple split, it means that there are two places in which, so it could be like your spleen and your root are connected, your heart and your ego are connected, and then your head and ajna are connected, but they all are split. So they're not talking to each other unless you are around somebody that bridges your split. But with triple split people, it's harder sometimes to find just one person that bridges your split. Triple split people are city people, okay? It's best to be in places where there's always a lot of people because there's always a lot of energy. And when there are a lot of energies, then you probably feel mostly yourself because all of the energies around you are bridging your splits. Triple split people tend to need two or more people. Quad split, same thing. That's those four splits. Quad splits are very, very rare. And our community people, they need to be in groups. You know what I'm saying? So, yes, parties can be overstimulating. And also, some people thrive in those conditions because they feel the most themselves because all of the centers that are defined in them are talking to each other and they just feel lit up. They're like, yes, let's do this. Let's live life. Like, I know what to do. I can say yes, I can say no. So, triple split and my quad split people um are, I think, best in metropolitan areas, are best where there's a lot of people. When you have a decision to make, go to a cafe where people work, like where they're gonna be there for a little while, and sit there so that you can feel more assured that the centers that you have that are defined, that you're designed, that your authentic self is speaking to you, so that you can feel more sure of the decision that you're making. So that's how we look at the definition, the where single, split, triple, or quad. Y'all get it? Give me some energy. Let me see y'all. All right. All right. So single definition, yes. Single definition, you are self-sufficient. You got a decision to make, you just make it. You don't really need to talk to somebody. If you were told or taught or programmed to, you don't need to. You are able to choose all on your own. Although, when they said all good, triple splits, I like to say do well with polyamorous situations, do well in environments where they're living with family members so that there's always more than just one other person. You thrive in connection to multiple people. So, I'm just saying. Yeah, yeah, that's how you got to do it. So, next up is the ego center. So, the ego center in human design is the heart center. So, your ego center, um, definition, it's like one out of four people, or it's one out of four people that have their ego defined. So, ego definition, the ego is a power center. The ego is a willpower center in human design. That's what the heart is. So, this is what determines oftentimes whether you have the will to make something, to continue a project, to finish something. And this is the part of human design that makes sense in terms of why group work is necessary. So, one in four people have their heart defined. So the person that carries this energy of heart definition, of the ego definition, is the person that has the drive to make sure a project is completed, to make sure that we get from A to Z. If that person is present, the person with the ego defined has this energy then so strong, has that energy so strong that when you're there, the work is being done. The work gets done. People are there. When you leave, people lose their motivation. They start just chilling, staring at each other, like, and then you come back in the room, they're back to it. It's like this charge. So, team environments are what they are because of you. And you might not necessarily be the one doing the work, but your energy to get it done, to get it completed, is wanted and needed And so you're that, you carry that. Like you carry that will and that drive. When you don't have this center defined, it's sometimes hard to have the lasting motivation to get something completed, to do something. So this is an energy that we borrow a lot. The heart energy is borrowed a lot. And it's why group work is so important and teamwork is so important, because that one heart that is defined will make sure that the job gets done. So that's my brief. I'm starting to get a little briefer. So that is the heart definition. It's a very powerful energy. It is a more rarer energy, not again, 1 in 4 people have it. So I'm not sure how many people are here in the building. I saw one person that said they have it. One person that said they have it. When you're in the room, you influence people. I just said I need to be carried in a group. Yep. So when you don't have it defined, here's the thing that also is important. People that don't have their heart defined, the not self of the heart is feeling like you are here to prove something. So when you don't have that, there's work to all these centers. All these centers have different questions that they kind of ask and raise in you. And the ones for the heart definition, for the people that don't have it defined, is what are you trying to prove? So ask yourself, like, consistently, am I doing this because I want to do it, or am I doing this because I'm trying to prove something? And oftentimes, this ego center is wanting to prove something to somebody, is wanting to prove something to somebody. And if it is, then that's probably your not self, and that's your programming, and that's your conditioning, and that has nothing to do with you. And you should probably let it go because it's probably not going to happen. Probably not going to happen. Like, that is not on your highest timeline. We're not here to be necessarily ego driven. The ego is part of us, is a tool that we carry, it's a tool that we have. It helps keeps us safe, right? It has its functions. And we are not necessarily here to be, and this is for people that don't have it defined, because there are ego authority humans. Okay, that's also a thing. Projectors. There's ego authority projectors. So, ego authority projectors is what it is. You're here to accomplish, you're here to make things happen, you're here to let that part of you rule. People that don't have that defined, that's not your mission, that's not your purpose. Is not to prove anything to anybody. You're not here to prove anything. You're here to be. You're here to do you. So you're here to listen to what is actually defined in your body graph, not what isn't. So when you find yourself doing things because you need to prove something to somebody, when you ask yourself, when you sit and ask yourself, what is my intention for this? Why do I want to do this? And you keep asking yourself why? And it's because I want to show, or because I want this person already. You start to understand, oh, okay, like this is not really about me. It's not really about me. So what's the point? What's the point? All right. Our G center is right in the middle. So if you're aware of the chakras and the seven traditional chakras, essentially the heart got split into the heart and the G center. So the G center is the center, is the middle in the human design body graph. And it, on this picture, in this image, it is the green square, like that's like a diamond. It's a diamond in the middle. So the G center is your center of self, your center of self. If you have this colored in, then you have your G center defined. And that means you came here knowing who you are. You have a strong sense of you. You came in here with your brand, right? There is there's parts of you that are who you are, and that's on that. And it's there's a lot of different channels that come out of that G center. It's also your sense of direction. So it's it speaks to being where you need to be and staying true to your identity and who you are. So when you have this center undefined, you tend to be like a chameleon. People that have the G center undefined, they say make the best actors and actresses because they are able to truly embody other people's energies. When you have your G center open, you tend to tap into the environment that you're in, and you tend to take on other people's identities. So these are the people that you might know that seem like they're chameleons, right? Like they can be with the emo crowd or they can be with like the cheerleaders. They can float around all the different groups and just kind of take on the energy that they're surrounded by. So that's why like the whole piece around like them acting because they can really take on somebody else's identity. And so people with this center open have to be mindful, right? Have to be mindful that whoever you're around, you're going to tap into their energy and you're going to start being like they are. So, is this person somebody that you want to be like or not? Because the moment that you're around a certain energy, you're going to pick up on them. You're gonna try to just be like how they are. You're gonna start talking how they talk. You're gonna start doing their accent if they have an accent. Like like people do that. Like when you're around somebody that has an accent, all of a sudden you start speaking with a little twang. Like people with a G center, you will do that for sure. You will start acting like this person. So it's important to just be mindful of that. Be aware of that. It is if you have it undefined, like any center that you might have undefined, it's a strength and a weakness. It's a center of power and it's a center of weakness. Okay. So if you have this center undefined, you're gonna take on the energy that you're around. So does that feel good to you? Does it not feel good to you? Be mindful of who you are around and how that is influencing you. So our next center is the throat center, and the throat center is a very important center. If you have your throat defined and there's and your throat is connected, so there's a channel from your throat through two certain energy centers. The two energy centers, the sacral, actually three. The sacral, the solar plexus, and the ego. If your throat is connected to any of these three things, then you are, if it's connected to any of these three things, then you're a manifester. The throat makes you a manifester. If the throat is connected to a power center, you are a manifester. If you have your sacral defined, you are a generator. And if your sacral is connected to your throat, they're both defined, they're connected, you're a manifesting generator. So, what makes a manifesting generator is the throat definition and the throat being connected to the sacral. So, sometimes it's connected through the sacral, like through the middle channels, and sometimes a pure manifesting generator has a direct line from the sacral to the throat. If your sacral is blank, but your throat is connected to your solar plexus, you're an emotional authority manifester. If your throat is connected to your spleen, you're a splenic manifester. If your throat is connected to your heart, you're an ego authority manifester. So The manifesting energy is the throat, is where we speak things into fruition. And for manifestors' strategy is to inform. A manifestor, do we have manifestors in the building today? So my manifestors are very powerful human beings who are able to speak into existence what they want. They are able to create by sheer desire, by sheer desire. And oftentimes I've I've encountered so many manifestors. So manifestors are the second rarest type, right? So reflectors are the rarest, then is manifestors, then we have projectors, and then we have generators who are most of the earth is full of generators. And generators are split half half, manifesting generators, pure generators and manifesting generators. So if you have your throat defined, then that makes you and your sacral empty. Let's say we're talking about manifestors. Your strategy is to inform. Um, you you still have all of the other different factors of definition, whether you're split definition, whether you're single definition. That's what I was gonna get at. Like I have the majority of manifestors that I have encountered have been split definition, and I feel like I love that because if it feels like balance, it feels like single definition manifestors just have a lot of power because they can you just go ahead and create just from their own energy. Whereas split definition manifestors will function the clearest when they're in connection to somebody else. They will feel more themselves when they're in connection to someone else, and therefore be able to be clear in order to understand what they want to manifest and create. So, manifestors' strategy is to inform. It means to just pretty much speak out and say, I want this, or I want to create this, or I want to see this, and then go and it'll be done. It'll be done by the sheer power of their desire. So that's why I'm like, it's a good thing that a lot of manifestors are split definition because connection is important in order for them to create. Manifestors tend to meet a lot of resistance. Their aura is a repelling aura. So not everyone is for a manifester. Manifestors are here to be around specific groups of human beings that will help push their mission forward, essentially, that will help bring forth what they are creating, what they are initiating. Manifestors are the ones that are meant to initiate. Every other design type is responding or waiting, and is responding or waiting, pretty much. Projectors are waiting for the invitations, and so are generators. So generators, you wait to respond, and projectors also wait for the invitation. Manifestors dole out the invitations. Um, and they have a closed and repelling aura, so they tend to push other people away if they're not going to be in alignment with their mission. So, love y'all, manifestors. If you have your throat undefined, if you have your throat undefined, people that have their throat undefined tend to take this energy from the outside in, tend to not have a balance sometimes in terms of how much they talk. So they might be people that tend to put their foot in their mouth, might say too much, or might say too little because they're scared of saying too much because they've said too much. They're gone around just blabbing, blabbing, blabbing. They tend to be gifted at speaking because it's like they have this open source that's pulling from the outside. And so when you have your throat defined, you're more measured and intentional with what you say and how you say it. Whereas somebody that has their throat undefined has to learn those lessons of measured and oftentimes might not get it correctly. So might talk a little bit too much or might not talk at all. So it's like you're going to be swinging along there. So, and yes, so King Adonis, the run that back with recognition. Yes. I love that you remember. I love that. Projectors, projectors. It is very important for projectors to understand that the invitations that are more for them are ones in which are recognizing who they are and what their strengths are. And not because so in the human design realm, generators and manifestors are the ones that are able to quickly implement. Like you're watching this, I gave you the tea. I told you, generators, listen to your gut. I told you what your gut is supposed to do. I told you to get acquainted with what your gut yes is and what your gut no is. You go ahead and do that, and you can implement this right now. You can do it right now. Start asking those yes or no. Get somebody to ask you yes or no questions. Understand what your yes or no feels like, and you can decide today to implement. You can decide today, I'm only listening and only doing what my gut tells me to do. You can decide that right now and do it and watch. Just do it and just go for it. Experiment. Go. Manifestors also can start informing right now. They can sit down and just start manifesting. I want cake. I want, it could be small. You could start in small doses. I want to see a pink elephant. You could be in small doses and start watching. Watch it work. So generators and manifestors, watch it work right now. You can start right now. Right now. Like this moment. Projectors and reflectors, though, projectors and reflectors have to be patient. Projectors and reflectors have to be more patient. And for projectors, you will receive invitations. You will receive invitations. Now, are those the right invitations for you? The way that you know, one of the ways that you identify whether this invitation is for you or not is if you're being recognized for who you are in this invitation. It's not a general invitation just because we want you to be a seat filler. You're not a seat filler projector. You are strong, powerful, wise. The way that you are able to plug in and understand and read somebody from top to bottom needs to be studied. Is studied. You're not a seat filler. So you don't just say yes to every invitation. There will be invitations, but if it's a seat filler, if it's just because I want another body there, that probably is not where your energy should go. So that's hard as a projector. And also understanding when we're talking about throat and speaking, right? Projector, what you tell somebody without being invited to share is not going to be received. It is a misplaced energy and you're going to be exhausted. It's not for you. Don't do it. So wait for the invitation. Wait for somebody to invite you. And if somebody says, wow, wow, goddess, I am stunned at this platform that you have created. And I would love to hear more about connecting with humans and having brilliant conversations online. Um, would you be open to sharing your energy with me in my Instagram live? You know what I'm saying? That's an invitation. Goddess, what's up? Like, you see, you know what I'm saying? I'm speaking to you, like, because I see you, because I recognize you, your strength, the beauty, and the way in which you hold space, and the way in which you create an audience, and the way in which you speak. And because I see that, I recognize it, I'm extending an invitation that's only for you. It's only for you. Like, I only want to have this conversation with you. That's an invitation for a person that's being recognized. So, not all invitations are your invitation. So just be mindful of where you're putting your energy, projectors. Just be mindful of knowing that projectors do tap into people and are able to read and understand certain things about people that only they know how, and they have that intuition going, and they know that they know, but they don't know how they know, but they just know. That doesn't mean that you're meant to share that information if you were not invited to. So be mindful. Be mindful. All right, mindful. Moving on up. The next center, we have two more, y'all. Two more. Two more. The next center is the Ajna center. And the Ajna center is your third eye. It's your third eye center. So if you have that, if you have that defined, it means that, like, that is kind of connected to your intuitive sense and your knowing and your thought process. So if you have it defined, then it's like, you know, you process information in a certain way that's unique to you. If you have it open, then you are kind of intaking information and processing it in all these different kind of ways depending on who you're around. But, like, again, when you have something undefined, it is the places where you're going to learn your biggest lessons. You're going to have your biggest wins maybe also. So you're like intaking this from the outside in. It's like your processes. So if you have that defined, it means that you have a way of processing information. So information comes to you and you have, like, just like this natural way of understanding it. And when you're undefined, you can receive information and you'll just process it depending on the information. It's like, it's kind of, it could be kind of scattered. And often it's depending on who you're around. It's almost like you're borrowing systems from whoever is around you at any given point in time. So when you have the center undefined, it's important for you to just understand people that have the ajna and their head. 'Cause I might combine these two. If you have these centers undefined, your logic, your mind is not really to be trusted. It's not really to be trusted because it's not you. It's not information that is your own. It's information that's coming from the outside in. A lot of the human design system is based in understanding that most of us are not here to think, to make decisions based on logic. And if you've been listening, because I know you have, you should know right now what it is that you need to be listening to in order to make decisions, right? Like, some of you need to be listening to your emotional neutrality, your emotional stability. Some of you need to be listening to your gut. Some of you need to be listening to your intuition. Some of you need to be listening to your willpower, your ego, right? So we all have these things that we're supposed to listen to. And very few people, there is a nuance to projectors that's called the self-projected projector. There's a lot of different little nuances depending on what you have defined. Yes, darling. Yes. Yes. Pronoia asks, is that why I'm a channel for the divine? Yes. So let's end the head because we're I'm gonna open up, and if y'all have questions, drop it now because you know what I'm saying. Time is a ticking. Yeah. Okay. If you have your head undefined, that's the very toppy top of the body graph, the triangle at the top. So, something to be mindful of is your top and your head and your root are pressure centers. If you have these open, if you have your head open, it means your thoughts are not your own. If you have your head open, it means you are constantly receiving information, especially when you are around other people. People with this center open are very open to telepathy and receiving messages. People with both their head and their ajna open are direct channels. Like you can essentially have a portal that transmits information from up here. When you have your head and your ajna or your head open, you cannot necessarily trust your thoughts. That's where I start. Your thoughts are not your own. You get programmed here. Your centers that are open is where you get programmed into your not self. So when you have your head open, you tend to think a lot. You tend to think a lot, tend to be an overthinker, and you should consider this a suggestion. Really learn how to meditate. Learn how to reprogram your thoughts. Learn how to enter kind of like a blank place because you often need a rest because your brain be going, your thoughts be flowing, and they often need to just, you know what I'm saying? They need to just be quiet. People that have their open heads, I always recommend a head covering to remember to protect your crown, protect the center. There's constant information flowing, constant information going, constant ideas. You will have a million and one ideas. You will receive all the things. They're not all for you. They're not all for you. Observe them. That's why I say meditation, because meditation teaches you not necessarily to quiet your mind, but to just observe your thought without attachment. It is when you attach yourself to the thoughts that causes havoc for you, within you, in your external environment. It's to just observe them. Like, oh, okay, that's a nice thought. Bye. Like like develop that kind of relationship with the thoughts in your head, because when you develop the attachment to them, that's when it starts provoking you and provoking a lot of different things within you. And when you have your head open, your mind, your logic is not what you use to make decisions. It's not. If you have it undefined, it is not for you to make decisions. If you have it defined, then yes, that's a tool. That is your tool that you came here with. You are original. When you have your head and your ajna defined, you have a set way of thinking and a set way of processing. And a lot of your ideas are original. A lot of things are your own, but and get this, the people that have it open around you hear your thoughts, hear your ideas, and they might have been original thoughts, but somebody else now picked up on it and they might actually act on it. And so that's the thing that happens. It's like we're in constant connection, constant connection. And yes, people with defined heads have their way of being, seeing, thinking, and internalizing. Observe and don't interact has helped noticing when the thoughts race because a loop, then I know it ain't me. Sit back and eat some pop. Yes. Yes. Covering your head is a reminder to protect your crown, to prevent other energy to overtake. Understanding mental health is so important, right? Because it's our thoughts that can provoke so many different things within us. So the more that we are understanding ourselves, right? If we want to put this lens on of human design and look at it, if you have open head, it's not your thoughts. If you are a generator, it's your gut that makes decisions. Like listen to that. When you tell yourself, when you repeat and affirm that you trust yourself and that you're here fully embodied and integrated and you're here to have live on your highest timeline and live the best possible life that you're here to live, then you're here to trust in what is you, right? So if you're a sacral authority or if you're an emotional authority and if you have that sacral defined, you're here to listen to your gut and let your mind know, hey, I get that. I get what I'm picking up what you're putting down. I hear those thoughts. And my gut said it's a yes. So let's figure out how to make this a yes for you too. Like just figure it's a yes. Let your mind know who is the actual boss and what you're listening to. Your mind is a tool that will help configure out the ways in which to create the timeline that you want to be on. And first you have to learn to rewire it by just consistently bringing it back, just being aware of those thoughts and being aware of the thoughts that are junk thoughts, that are somebody else's thoughts. And oftentimes you can be in a room of people and say things that they're thinking. Okay, gotta trust my time. Gotta empty head. Yes, you got an empty head. Yes, and so just allow yourself to note that your your head is not the decision maker. The head is not the lead. It is the tool that will help, right? You'll help figure this out, but listen to what you're meant to listen to. And what's up? I think Goddess, are you coming back through? I feel like we got a few minutes for questions and remarks and reminding you this is a tool. Learn yourself, look at what shapes you. And my last little tidbit, because I know guys is gonna be like the lines, because that's what she did to me last time. Here's what I'm gonna say about the lines. If you have, if you your profile line, if it starts with a 1, 2, or 3, it's very important for you to know what your gates are. It's important for you to study your gates if your lines start with 1, 2, or 3. If your line starts with 4, it is important for you to know your channels and your incarnation cross. And if your line starts with 5 and 6, it's important to know the overall meaning of your channels. If your channels are the circuits, that's what it's called. It's important for you to know your circuits. If you start with 5 or 6, it's important for you to know whether you are here to be more within your individual self, the collective self, or the tribal self. And this will lead you into understanding your mission and purpose here a little bit more deeper. That's all I'm gonna say about the lines, goddess. That's it. That's all I'm gonna say. Lord. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't even pull it up this time. I just let it. I let it ride because I got a little thing. I'm like, yo, I love. Listen, I have been again, y'all. I'm in love with human design. Thank you so much, Claudia, for giving us again, y'all. I want to always go back and touch on some things that I know we've touched on before, but we have new audience coming in, and I want to make sure we all caught up for this season because once we start going, is we going in, and I want to get into gates. I want to get into channels. I want to get into the connections because she did mention, when you're around certain people. And I started noticing that. And that was also a reason why I was inspired to do dating by design, because I noticed when I'm around Smart Video Girl, I had to pull our charts because I was like, yo, it's something going on with this. Cause and just like you said, I'm split definition, right? So I don't need to talk to her. I just need her to be sitting right there, right? And I noticed that even when I was dating people, I realized why I wanted a partner. It's crazy that you say that because I'm sitting there listening, right? And it was like, I used to think, people will say a lot of people have different reasons why they want partners, right? Like a provider or this or that. For me, I can always take care of myself. But it was always I needed to bounce my thoughts off or feel confirmation on what I'm about. And it's only one person. I only needed one other person that I felt comfortable with so I can feel like, okay, I know it, but I just need that person there. And so when I would look at her chart, her gates, she has gates and I have the other gate. And when we are together, it's like, I'll have an idea and she'll have the mechanics to make that idea go together. And and it's so crazy. So I was like, dating by design makes sense because even if you don't fall in love with that person, you probably gain something from just being in that energy and those gates and those channels connecting. And when I go into rooms with people, I'm a projector, as y'all may know. I'm always absorbing these energies and I feel how I know I'm learning. I have multi-purposes, multi-missions this life. And one of them is really to activate people just by being in their presence, just by being near them. I activate people. I walk in rooms now and I can feel it. And some people don't want to be activated. Some people don't want to be seen. Some people don't like me. And it's okay. It's okay. I'm okay with that now because I understand that that's a superpower and that, God puts me into certain rooms even to make some people uncomfortable because it has to shake up. What is it that you don't want to be seen? So we have, human design, again, is a beautiful tool to help us tap in to certain things that I think we never will tap into because the world keep us so distracted if we don't take the time to really, really use this. And this system, shout out to Rob. I don't even know his whole name. Rahu. Shout out to him, okay? Shout out to him for making this beautiful system that I tell everybody about. And it's not just lit work. Every time Claudia comes here, I am excited. I am excited. It don't matter what the hell happened in my day. If I know it's human design night, baby, I'm gonna learn something new. And all backstage, I will say, we've been doing this human design. You could have dropped some of these little gems right here. Could have saved me a little bit of heartache in life. You know what I'm saying? Especially with that one back there, because it was one. Let me go back in these comments when you started talking about these energies because those sometimes it's innocent, right? The energies is innocent. It's just how people use the energies. And I noticed that there is certain charts I've seen where that cloaking energy is very easy to do because that particular center isn't defined. And so they absorb your energy and start taking on your likeness or and it's like, are you doing that shit on purpose? And so that's when I had to start stepping back and looking at people's charts, like, what the hell is going on? Am I being mimicked? And I did notice it was that particular. So when you said it, I was like, just like a little kid in a candy shop. So I hope y'all are really taking notes and really just like tapping in. I love it. Thank you all. Like, it's been a lot of people in and out all night. It's been beautiful. Thank you for coming tonight and really sharing your energy. This is a safe space. You know, your energy is safe here. Thank you for sharing your information with us. And I'm gonna let Claudia, close out tonight and let us know what she wants to share.
I love it. I love the space always. Thank you. Definitely want to hear more about these lines next time. Okay. All right. Next time we'll start with the lines. How about that? How about that? Is that I'm not sure, King Adonis, what your question is. So wait, only granted me. So as a single definition, are relationships hard in general? Yes. So
Yes.
yes. To keep it simple, my gut told you yes. I am a single definition. And I would attribute my, I guess, independence to being a fire sign, being an Aries. And the thing about it is because single definitions don't really need other people, you can just go. Like you can just do you. And you don't, you often don't understand the people that need people. I will also say that single definitions work well with other single definitions in friendships and partnerships because you both come in with this sense of self that it's just like, I'm gonna do me, you do you, let's do this together. That like there's more understanding. Whereas sometimes a single definition and a split definition will struggle to meet each other's needs because they're just so different. Because the single definition, hard, if you don't know this, it makes it more challenging, right? Now that you know, then now you have awareness. If you're messing with somebody that's a split definition, this person already is coming from a place of, I feel better and need you around for specific things, right?
Period.
Whereas single definition will never feel like that. A
Right.
single definition is like, I don't really need you around ever. Like, I'm gonna do me anyway. Like, I'm gonna just do me, and you could just do you, and I'll see you when I see you. So,
Yeah.
when you have the understanding that a split definition has these needs, then you can show up differently, right? But when you don't know, then you're gonna bump heads because you're not gonna understand it. You're gonna be like, this person is clinging, like this person just wants to be on top of me all the time, right? And it's not gonna feel good. So I feel like split definitions will do best with another split definition because they'll just get it. They'll just be like, yeah, like we just want to be together. Like we're
Aw.
together and we're gonna do this. And like I feel like I need this person and they feel like they need me too. Whereas a single definition, that need is out of the equation. For a single definition, the need is out of the equation.
Period. You are Aries in this bitch. Okay.
Like
I need you.
it
I'm one.
need you for
One,
what?
one, one.
Like
One, one. Well, I ain't got no splits. Bitch, I'm single. Oh my God. You
so
got all kinds of songs. I'm hearing Lil Wayne, bitch, I'm single. I'm single. Like they don't, yeah, you right. I mean, you right. Everybody that I know, I'm telling you, I be pulling charts. I do not play. I do ask permission. Y'all listen. Okay. For real, when I say it's a safe space, I do not believe in divination abuse. I do not believe in like pulling charts without asking. I always ask, is it okay to share information? But when people say yes, and I start looking at their charts, I'll be like, oh, that's why you don't give a shit if we hang out tonight or not. Okay. No, I need a split definition. And I don't need I don't need no triple or no quadruple either. Because all of the polygamy, I'm not into that. Okay. I'm not into sharing. Just me and you, not your mama and your cousin too. Okay. I don't need that. But yes, you're right. Like, and that's why I'm saying, you guys, like, these are little things that we are wondering why we're struggling in our relationships. And That's why we coming up with dating by design. Let's talk about it just really briefly before we close out tonight. You guys, the concept is to look at the channels, to look at the gates, to look at the open centers and what we can add to each other if we decide to come together. And so, if you are interested in dating by design, or you have a partner and would like to have your charts reviewed by our beautiful Claudia and myself, and have a discussion here live on Pronoia Star C podcast, please send your charts in. You can send them to me. You can send them to Claudia. You can hit us up on IG and just let us know if you're interested. There is an application that we are creating. I will send it out for those who are single, who would like to date, because we don't want to be sending people out with crazies and then they be blaming us and we be like, ho, ho, ho. So we're going to ask a few questions. But most of us who are here, who've been led here by divine, we're divine beings, and a lot of us chosen, divine, angels, whatever you go by, it's hard out here for us because a lot of us are very innocent. And I'm not saying innocent like we don't do nothing wrong. I'm saying innocent, and we are very loving, and we give so much of ourselves. And a lot of times we don't get that back in the world in a way that we feel that we should. And so I think if I can do anything, and with all my Venus energy, I could bring in some love. Okay. So, even if it's just platonic love, even if you just meet somebody and y'all vibe and it's just like, you know what, that's my new best friend, or now I got somebody I could talk to about this or that, then I did my job. So dating by design is coming, you guys. I'm going to talk to Claudia backstage. We're going to talk about it and get it all. And once, IG, always check on IG. I'm always rolling things out on Instagram about what's next. So just keep your eyes out for the applications. And if you're interested, again, make sure you send me an IG message. Okay. All right.
You need to do a triple. Hi.
You already know. Bella Flaw. She definitely need her a triple with her wild fun ass. She's busy. That I could already see that. Like, yes, baby, she could talk to two people at one time and be having two different conversations. Okay.
I do. I mean, yes. I feel like it's beautiful to just be aware of your own energy, and then you start understanding other people a little bit stronger and a little bit more. The
Mm-hmm.
more self-aware you are, the more strength and power. Dating by design is beautiful in concept because hello, like you start understanding where people are actually compatible and where they're not.
Yes. Yes, yes. And yes, I'm excited for dating by design. I really am. And I'm so excited. Claudia was like, hell yeah. It was like no second thought. So it's gonna be wonderful, Star Seeds. Again, if you know somebody who would be interested, that you think, man, send them right on over. I think it's gonna be fun, to say the least. And it's summertime. Let's enjoy ourselves. And again, pull your charts, keep this information. Claudia's back next month. We're gonna set the date. Again, I'll roll it out real soon. Anything else you'd like to say tonight, Claudia, before we go?
Again, I'm just grateful. I'm going to remind everyone that we are in a season of turbulence. Take care of yourselves. Figure out the nourishing environments, and whatever type of definition you are needed, and community is of the utmost importance right now. So especially, and I think I said this the last time, but I I've been saying this in my channels and to my networks, especially if you have hermit energy, you're being called out. Like you're being called out to stay connected.
Yes.
We need this connection to continue, and we need to really understand and dominate emotional intelligence right now more than ever, so that our petty differences we can put to the side for the greater good, for the greater good of us all. Please stay connected. Um, Follow Pronoia Sarsi podcast on Instagram. Follow me, Claudia Zamor, or Amor Personified. There are so many different ways in which we are being called to stand up in our power and tapping into your human design, you being here right now, that's one. Like, keep doing it. There's
Mhm.
so much resources. There's so many resources for you. And like I said, I gave you homework. If your lines 1, 2, and 3, like, start looking at your gates. Write down all the ones that are purpled out in your graph. Write them down and look at
Yes.
them every day. Task yourself. Look up one at a time. Look, I mean, some of us, we like to dive in full head, and so you'll look at all of them, but see which one calls you. Like, do
Oh,
the
yo,
numbers
all
and
of
just see what number calls you today. Like, let me look at this gate. Let me see how my energy expresses through here. Let me see how I'm being called to share. Let me see how I'm being called to serve. Let's see how I'm being called to be in connection and in community. Know yourself. Generators, know yourself. And I speak a lot to generators because generators make up the majority. Projectors, I know that you're gonna know because this is for you. This is for y'all. Like, y'all need to do this. You already on it. Matter of fact, I feel like every projector that's here is already on it anyway. Like, yeah, y'all come through with the in-depth questions.
you already know.
Y'all are like, hold up, what? So I'm proud of us. I'm proud of this space. I'm grateful for it. Again, thank you for showing up and being here. Goddess, thank you for creating this beautiful space. Stay plugged in because Goddess brings us all the stuff, all the tea, the astrology, the tarot, the conversations, the spiritual awareness, and the music, y'all. And
Yes.
the music. Okay. Mwah, 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 mwah.
Mwah.
Love you.
Love you.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm glad to hear it. Thank you for joining us. Only Greatness Media Production. Thank you for being here. Everybody that was here, mwah. Have a blessed rest of your evening. I'll see you next month. And y'all gonna have something to tell me about your gates next month. There we go. Next
Absolutely.
month, you're gonna tell me what gate is speaking to you. I'm gonna start off the chat like that. I'm gonna have to remember because I'm a manifesting generator. If I didn't introduce myself, manifesting generators, we tend to be a little scattered sometimes. So, yes, the music. The
Yo, the music is
music.
everything, y'all. Yeah, listen. Thank you so much, Claudia. I appreciate you. And before we go tonight, y'all stick around. I got a little bit more for you tonight before we go because I did bring out my moonology. So when she said that, and it's been a minute, y'all. So since it's a full moon, I do want to pull a collective message before we close out tonight. Thank you so much, Claudia. Thank you for being here tonight. I love you so much.
I
Thank
love
you.
you too. Thank you.
All right, guys. Thank you again for tapping in tonight. I do want to pull a Moonology card for you guys before we go tonight. But also, before I do that, let me just give you a few updates on what's going on this month on Pronoia Sarsi podcast. So, on Saturday on Instagram at 8 p.m., you can join me on Sun Ra. I'm going to be having an interview with Sun Ra. He invited me over there on his podcast. So you'll see me live. Tap in. Y'all show me some love over there. Also, let's see when else we back. I'll be back in between. But let's see what we got here. Oh, yes, on the 28th at 1:11 a.m., y'all. Y'all ready for Pronoia After Dark? This one is a serious one. We've been talking about energy harvesting. We've been talking about, siphoning of energy. I haven't gotten too much into the Jezebels and the succubus and incubus here, but we will be getting into it there. So at 1:11 a.m. on the 28th, it will be Pronoia After Dark. Make sure you put that on your calendar and tap in. Of course, I'll put a reel out. You know that, of course. Happy Strawberry Full Moon to you, too. Also, y'all, on the 24th, before the 28th, on the 24th, Sunshine Monet L will be back in the building with our astrological counselor. So make sure you tap in and get all your astrological information. Make sure you have your charts and any questions you have for her, just like you do here. yo, we're here to teach, we're here to learn, we're here to grow. This is the shift. This is the year of everything. So be ready. Sunshine will be in the house on the 24th. And on the 30th, yes, you guys do not want to miss Uni. Yes, you were talking about the music. Well, baby, Uni will be in the building on the 30th. I'll have an interview with Uni, formerly known as Universe, but still Universe. You know what I'm saying? I love her. She will be here on the 30th, so make sure you tap in, Starseeds. Hit that notification bell. If you are not subscribed, please, what are you doing? Subscribe to the podcast. We are here live on YouTube, and once I get it all together, we'll be live back on Facebook and Instagram too. Y'all know that the universe is always conspiring in your favor. No matter what it looks like on the outside, know that everything is working out for you. You are many little tiny universes, so why would it not be working for you? Pronoia, that's what it means. If you didn't know, now you know. I had a great time tonight. Thank you again, Claudia, for tapping in and giving us such useful human design information. Thank you all for, again, coming into this safe space and sharing your energy. You are safe here. Thank you so much. I hope you had a great night. I know I did. I'm going to go out with some music. You know, it's going to take me a second. Hold on. Give me a second. Let me see this comment real quick. I'm clicking and I'm clicking and I'm clicking. I say, Ashe. Absolutely. I want you guys to have a great night and have a great week. You know, like Claudia said, it is trying times, but know that you are the leaders of this new world we are entering into. So these times are the destruction, but it's just to rebuild into the way that it should be and should always have been. I love y'all. Have a good night. And no, life is too short. We got to do what we got to do right now and enjoy it. Tap into human design. Claudia's back next month. Love you. Peace.
Life too short, can't let it all pass. When I feel down, meditate on the grass. Think about life like it ain't that bad. Looking at your face like, why nigga mad? Nigga, you better get in your bag. You can do whatever, nigga, get off your way. I don't watch time cause it go too fast. I don't watch time cause it go too fast. I heard niggas don't like how I'm living. Tell you how I feel, I don't care how you feel. Need to raise your vibration and get about your feeling. Nigga, you a god, you can manifest a million. You can feel my vibes when I walk into the building. I ain't stressed out, little nigga, I'm chillin'. Even on a cloudy day, you can catch me grillin'. Man, the vibe so high, about to go through the ceiling. Yeah, spirit guys talking like you better go get it. I don't care what you doing, I just mind my business. I just keep good vibes, that's the way I'm living. I'ma light my sage when I feel that tension. It's a good ass day, nigga, why you trip? Universe be talking, I hope you listen. If you keep this up, then you know I'm dead. Won't feel your vibes, won't be no fit. All your problems in your life, need to let it all go. Everything your fault, you the one in control. Bad vibes in your life, better throw them bold. Don't you ever let nobody stop your glow. Life one big stage, nigga, this your show. If you didn't know then, nigga, now you know. Only way to go is up when you start from the flow. Need to calm your mind, better heal your soul. And don't talk about a nigga, do that shit. Every bad day, I bet you get through that shit. And control your mind before you lose that shit. You gotta hold on peace, don't lose that grip. Keep your head up, my bro, you can make it. You a god, so I know you can take. Them bad vibes in your life gotta shake. That sweet life coming soon, I can taste. Life too short, can't let it all pass. When I feel down, meditate on the grass. Think about life like it ain't that bad. Looking at your face like, why nigga mad? Nigga, you better get in your bag. You can do whatever, nigga, get off your way. I don't watch time cause it go too fast. I don't watch time cause it go too fast.
Learn to cloud surf while never leaving Earth. 10 toes firmly planted in the dirt for what it's worth. See my life flash before my eyes a couple times. So I'd be lying if I said I don't believe in the divine. For reasons we can't find, the truth will probably blow our minds. This energy in the universe send chills down your spine. Had a talk with a goddess about human design. Pull my coat to how I need to get my chakras aligned. Gotta break some bad habits, it's addition by subtraction. Move away from bad actors, trying to leech off your action. It's the laws of attraction, gotta see it before it happens. Gotta believe it with a passion, then receive this beautiful madness. Find a pattern in the chaos, their assessment was way off. You build it from the ground up, you own it, so ain't no layoffs. Your energy is equity, cashing on your day off. Hope to reach a couple souls, it's all a part of the payoff.